Hey yo friends, my name is Zero and welcome to Endless Sky. Now, for those of you who don't know what this game is, it is... Here, let me read the description on Steam for you. It probably can explain it a little bit better than me. Although not made by the members of the original team, Endless Sky is the closest thing to an escape velocity game since the release of Nova in 2002. For those of you who don't know Ambrosia's series, the escape velocity games are single-player, space-based, role-playing fare, sort of like top-down Elite, with all the trading, combat, and freedom your pioneering heart craves. They're excellent, and Endless Sky, now available on Steam for Windows, Mac, and Linux, appears to live up to the legacy. It's free, open source, and there are 50 plus ships to own and modify as you work your way across the galaxy. Now, why don't we jump right in and I can explain it as we go. As you can see, I've been playing it a little bit. I've come quite a bit since these couple saves. Huh, weird. Okay, why don't we go ahead and start a new pilot. Let's read through this. The bank's architecture is what you would have called futuristic back when you dreamed that the future would be less squalid than the present. Story above, story of curves and spires and balconies, all in gleaming metal. A doorman stands by each of the heavy glass doors. You are wearing your very best clothes, but you feel shabby next to them. The loan broker's office is equally intimidating. Large computer monitors fill the walls with stock quotes and other information spilling down them almost too fast to read. You occasionally glimpse the names of places you've only seen in movies. Aldebaran, Tarzad, Earth. The pen is heavy as lead, but glides almost without friction as you print your initials on the bottom of page after page of ominous legal documents and sign several dozen statements, notices, and agreements. The banker, a balding middle-aged man in a suit that you suspect costs more than the spaceship you're about to purchase, flips the pages past you quickly, uttering a curt "sign here, now here." As he points to each page, he moves swiftly, mechanically. The only moment when he becomes truly animated is when explaining the truth in lending statement to you. You are borrowing 480,000 credits, he says, to be repaid over the course of 1 year. Your daily interest rate is 0.4%, which means that your daily payments are 2,503 credits. And by the end of the year, you will have paid 434,000 credits in interest. Sign here. He grins. You sign your name one last time. We will name ourselves YouTube, because the first name doesn't come up very much. Zero. Most people call you Captain Zero. Or Captain Zero. What the fuck? Alright, we will enter. The elevator is so well tuned that you do not even realize it's moving until it has deposited you back in the lobby. But as you leave the bank, you are smiling. This crazy adventure suddenly feels real to you. You're going to do it. You're finally going to leave this planet. Compared to the bank, you feel much more at home in the shipyard, walking among the rusted out hulks and newer ships that gleam in the sunlight. You smell grease and dirt and rocket fuel. Wonderful smells. There are 3 ship models within your price range. Which one you choose will determine your future. Alright, now we get into the basics of the game. We have 3 different styles of ship here. We have the shuttle, which is for transport. This is for transporting personnel more than it is cargo, but it does have some cargo space, as you can see. 20 cargo space here, and 5 extra bunks, because we have 1 of 6 bunks taken. It also has a little bit of outfit space free. You'll learn what that is for later. Then we look at the freighter. This is more, as you can tell, for transporting cargo, because it has 50 cargo space, but only 2 bunks free, with quite a bit of outfit space free. Then we look down at the interceptor. This is an entirely different playstyle altogether. This is not transporting, this is more escorting and fighting. You can escort transport ships. They will pay you handsomely, because they do pay quite a bit. But this one costs the most because it comes with guns. It has very little outfit space free. It has 1 extra space for a bunk and a little bit more cargo space. or a little bit less cargo space than the transporter. So while this is good for later on in the game, I think I'm going to do freighter to start, because cargo is an easy way to earn quite a bit of money very cheaply. So we will go ahead and buy our first ship for 375,000 credits. As you can see, we have 480. Bam. We will name it... I think for this playthrough, I will name all my ships after comic book heroes. So, since my favorite comic book, or favorite hero is Batman, I will name this the Batman 1.0. Whoop, oh, words. Alright, so we now have the Batman 1.0. 210 credits for the empty hull, 165 for the outfits, total of 375. Let's go ahead and leave. With some trepidation, you give the shipyard owner your money and take your new ship for a test drive, piloting it out of the shipyard and onto a spare landing pad by the spaceport. Then you get out and look over your ship a bit more closely. You're busy polishing a few rust spots with a piece of steel wool when an old man in a grease-stained coveralls walks up. What voice should we give him? Nothing quite like buying your first ship, he says. Yes, I'm still kind of in shock over how much money I spent. He grins. I know the feeling. It's a crime how much the banks charge to first-timers. It's been that way ever since I first started out. You're a captain, you ask. Was, he says. Sold off my fleet a few days ago, and I already miss it. But it was time for me to retire. His voice trails off. Then his face lights up. Say, any chance I could hitch a ride with you, maybe show you the ropes, give you some pointers? I could pay you, of course. Sure, where are you trying to get to? Well, he says, I got a spot reserved in a retirement home, but I don't mind taking a roundabout way to get there. For starters, how about you give me a lift to New Greenland? It's one jump away from here. I can mark it on your map. Sounds good. Great. My name's James, by the way. Zero, you say. I'm looking forward to traveling with you, Captain Zero, says James. As you're helping him wheel his luggage aboard and showing him to his bunk, he says, before we take off, you might head over to the trading center and stock up on some medical goods. We can sell those for a good profit on New Greenland. Or take a look at the outfitter if you like. But they don't sell too much here compared to the big manufacturing worlds. Alright, so this is where the basics of the game come into play. We have a shipyard. Different planets have different things in their shipyard. As you can see, we just have the 3 ships we just paid for. Each planet has a different description, per se. Basically, this one isn't too great. It's known for being prone to flooding. Flax and jute grow well on this planet, and it's unremarkable, except this planet, New Boston, is our home. This is where we came from. So, we can see, we have these 7 different tabs, and then we have Depart. Hire crew, in its basic thing. You can get your flagship, bunks. We have 3 bunks, we have 1 crew, so we have 2 passenger space, and 1 passenger at the moment. Extra crew, what they do is increase your odds of capturing ships, and once you capture the ship, you need crew members to serve on it. So say we wanted to capture one of the ships that we're in right now. We'd need 1 extra crew member, so he could capture it and then pilot it. If we had 2, we'd have a much better chance of taking the ship. Now, so that's basically what crew is for. Each crew you buy is worth 100, which doesn't seem 100 per day, which doesn't seem like much, but once you get into the ships that cost 10 crew per, or 20 crew per, that's 1,000 to 2,000 a day. I'll explain how days work in a moment. Outfitter. This is where you buy your guns, your ammunition, your systems for your ship, the power for your ship, and the engines. Power is what powers your weaponry and your shield generators. Engines power you when you're just in a planet's orbit. Special are a couple different things. We have a pilot's license. Alright. But yeah. This just gives us a complete outlook of the area. If we go ahead and leave here and open up the map, as you can see, we have nothing discovered except we have these 4 planets that we can warp to immediately. Now, if we go back into the outfitter, scroll all the way down, go ahead and buy ourselves a local area map, we open up our map again. As soon as we leave here, we open up our map. As you can see, we have a little bit more shown now, because it shows us the nearest planets. This is obviously a dead planet, or a planet without inhabited... no, this is a system. This is a system without inhabited planets, my bad. This is a system with inhabited planets. Blue systems have inhabited planets, which means you can land on them, refuel, and heal up. Shipyard we already looked at, outfitter we looked at, trading. This is where you get your commodities, such as food, clothing, metal, plastic, equipment, medical, industrial, electronics, heavy metal, luxury goods. These two at the bottom are the more expensive ones, but they always have a tendency to pay out more if you find the right planet. If we go ahead and look at industry or medical, we can see it's low here. Now if we go in here, click on medical, and look over at where we're going on New Greenland, the medical is plus 94. So if we take that plus 94, we go ahead over there and we sell it, we get plus 94 per ton. With 50 tons, let's go ahead and buy up. Let's go ahead and buy up all that we can. We get 50 tons plus, what was it, 94? I forget now, damn it. Plus 94, yeah. So we get 50 times 100. That comes out to 50,000. So we get an extra $50,000 for that. Job boards. These are different jobs you can do in your system. You can do deliveries, you can do rush deliveries, you can do passengers, you can do transport farmers, transport passengers. Generally, if they're working people, they tend to pay a little bit more. You can do bulk deliveries, which are alright if you have the space for it. They pay out a little bit more, but they do need more space. Passenger transports do pay quite a bit, especially for multiple passengers. Deliveries are just kind of meh. They're kind of an easy way to get started, like if you're going to a planet and need something there. You can do rush deliveries as well, which basically gives you, let's say this one, gives you 18 tons of cocktail dressings to Lodestone in the Anka system by Sunday, 28th November 3013. As you can see, the current date is Tuesday, 16th of November 3013. So basically, it just gives you a date you need to arrive by. Now, as you can see, we currently have passenger transport for the old-timer captain. And we're going to go ahead and take his advice and go sell these medical supplies. The bank is where you take a look at your mortgages. Currently, we have the $480,000 mortgage from buying our ship. You have a credit score, which basically, as this gets better, you can purchase higher loans. Eventually, you have to pay them off, though, so... And then you have Spaceport. Now, if you click Spaceport, generally there doesn't do much, but if you click Spaceport, it gives you special jobs, such as what we're doing with the old man right now. So let's go ahead, depart, and get into the actual thing. As you can see down here, it tells you your different situations. You can hit L to land on this planet right here, which is New Boston. You can M for map. As you can see, we already have our jump set up, so we can go ahead and hit jump. It'll slow us down, and then boom, jump us over. And then we can go ahead, hit L. We're landing on New Greenland, so we can go ahead and land. All these ships in the area are NPCs. They are not other players. They're simply NPCs. All right. Now that we landed, let's go ahead. As you land on New Greenland, James says, "Congrats, congrats on your first ship." What the hell was his name? What the hell was his voice? "Congrats on your first ship, though. Hyperspace. I'm impressed that you didn't throw up. Most folks do the first time, including you. And then spent half an hour in orbit cleaning up my cabin, while hoping the passengers wouldn't come out of their bunk room and see the mess. Not my proudest moment. Anyways, here's your pay." He hands you 10,000 credits. Then he adds, "If you're okay with giving me a lift for a while longer, sell off any of that cargo you bought, and meet me in the spaceport. I'll see if I can rustle up any interesting work for you to do." Click the spaceport button to continue this mission. We will go ahead and start by selling off all of that cargo. We end up with 113k. We could sell off. We could pay a little bit more and get rid of some of that interest that we have going on. let's pay extra. We'll pay a quick 100,000. There we go. So we now have to pay 378,000 instead, and our daily payment is dropped down to only 2,000. Let's go ahead and look at the spaceport. The spaceport on Heartland is small enough that it doesn't take too long to find James. He's talking with a man wearing what looks to be a doctor's lab coat. "Captain Zero," says James. "Glad you could join us. It's time. Turns out there's been a flu outbreak on Heartland. And they're asking every captain with space to spare to carry out some vaccines and medical supplies over there. You willing to help out?" "Sure. Anything I can do to assist them." "Great," says James. "They'll be loading up your ship shortly." So, now we can go ahead to our map. We can take a look at our missions. We need to head to Korkarli to delivery to the Heartland. Now, as you can see, we now have 2 jumps to go instead of a single one. Now, if we go ahead and depart, we can take a look. As you can see, we have this little HUD on the side. This tells us the date, what system we're in, and our credits. Every time you leave a credit, or leave a planet, a day passes. Every time you jump through to another system, a day passes. That's basically how time works. So when doing those rush deliveries, you really got to be careful about that. As you can see, we have 3 broken up segments in this. This is our jump capacity. So for the 2 jumps we want to do, we have 3 jumps possible. If you end up in a system like this that is uninhabited, you are basically screwed. This power bar right here is for our weapons, which we don't have any weapons at the moment. This heat bar, temperature bar, is, again, reflects our weaponry, I do believe. And, like, traveling around inside a system. If it gets too hot, so on and so forth. Let's go ahead and set it up to jump. If it gets too hot, it'll... I don't remember what it does. I've never actually maxed it out, so let's, not max it out. Yeah. As you can see, if I cycle through N, you can see different ships in the system, which there's only Moonlover at the moment. Then we go into here. We have a pirate. That is dangerous, because pirates are bad. They do lots of damage. Oh yeah, we want to land on Heartland. Oops. Pirate ship Grey Wolf. Unless you pay me a hefty bribe, you're going to die an embarrassing death. Yes, that's something you can do. You can talk to different ships and do different things with them. Like, if I paid that pirate, he would leave me alone, and so on and so forth. Alright. Let's see. You can drop off a shipment of vaccines on Heartland and collect your payment of 30,000 credits. Hauling freight, says James. Not the most glamorous job, or the most interesting, but you're always guaranteed steady income. And once you know the galaxy a bit better, instead of taking missions, you can find your own trade routes to follow. The only trouble is, build a big enough fleet and the pirates begin to take notice. Did you have a lot of trouble with pirates when you were a captain? Some. That's why you can't just go tripsing around the galaxy with a fleet of unarmed star barges. Every pirate within a week's travel will hear you're coming through and come after you. In long term, having a few heavy freighters with a good defense is more cost effective than losing a star barge or 2 to the pirates every journey. He picks up his suitcase. If you want to run another mission with me, look for me in the spaceport. I'll see if I can find you something with a bigger, higher profit margin this time. Alright, now, let's go ahead and we'll go into the spaceport. As you walk through the spaceport, Jace sees you from a distance and waves you over. As you approach, the smell of raw fish overwhelms you. I found you another job. Is it by chance a smelly job? It is indeed, but a lucrative one. 34 tons of raw eel needs to get to ingot while it's still fresh. And that means it needs to be there no later than the 27th of November. Oh, this is doing a rush job. If we take direct route, we should have no trouble making delivery on time. What do you say? Sounds good. Let's do it. Great. You might want to stop by the outfitter and buy a local map. By the way, hyperspace routes aren't always logical, and the last thing you want to do is get lost and end up with a pile of rotten fish that no one wants filling up your cargo hold. Yeah, that makes sense. God, his voice is hard to do. My bad. Let's go ahead and buy another local map. Bam. Let's go ahead and where are we getting to? We are going to Ingot. We might as well, let's go ahead and take a look at we only have 30k for trading. Let's take a look at the trading board. Let's see, we have low, low, very low. Industrial. Oh shit, I don't even know. Fuck. It's 3 jumps away. Let's just go ahead and do the jump. We'll let that jump and we will go ahead and talk. What time? How long have we been doing? We've only been going for 15 minutes. Alright. So yeah, this is basically the game right here. You have to do different jobs, so on and so forth. Currently the game is paying off your mortgage. You know, so getting jobs, doing jobs, getting money, paying off that mortgage. And then after that, you can start earning a steady income by yourself and begin buying your own ships and so on and so forth. Now, let's land on Ingot real quick. By now, your entire ship smells like brine and raw fish, but as best you can tell, the fish is still fresh enough to eat. Dock workers on Ingot offload it without comment and give you your payment of 35,000 credits. If you can line them up right, says James, rush deliveries can be your best source of income as a freighter captain. Keep an eye out for missions with large amounts of cargo, too, because your barge's hold is definitely big enough to handle them. And if you got any cargo to spare, and you know what prices are going to be at your destination, be sure to stock up on something you can sell for a profit. What would you recommend I do? What would you recommend if I want to do more than just carry cargo? He pauses for a moment and thinks. Unless you want to do something really risky like hunting pirates, your best bet is to work with the Navy, or Syndicate, or one of them local militias. Any of those would be a decent choice. Although they've each got their own problems. If any offer you a mission, go ahead and take it. That's a good way to build connections and get to know the land. He glances at the spaceport and says, anyway, if you want to make one more trip with me, you know where to find me. Let's go ahead and make one more trip. You find James talking with a group of miners who seem to be old acquaintances of his. As you approach, he says, well, guys, here comes my rat. I should probably say goodbye. They head off back to do their work. Every time I land here, says James, I'm amazed that this station hasn't been wiped out yet by a meteorite. Can you imagine spending your life here? It does seem awfully isolated, but some people might enjoy the solitude. I suppose, he says. Anyways, I think it's time for the last leg of my journey. You think you can give me a lift to Hestia? I'll pay you quite well for your services, of course. Sure, I can take you there. As you walk out, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Terraformed. Let's see. Where is it we're going? Talita. Outfitter. Let's go ahead and buy ourselves another local map. Bam. Leave. Can I see? I can't. Son of a bitch. Food is plus there. Food's expensive here though. Let's see. Clothing. Everything else seems to be low. Let's go ahead and see what's plus. Luxury goods seem to be quite a jump. I don't have a lot of money for luxury goods though. Let's just go ahead and DD and we'll jump. Actually, let's jump all the way. And as soon as we land, I think we will go ahead and end it for this stream, or this video. In between videos, I will go ahead and pay off that mortgage and maybe get a little bit more credits together so we can spend them, you know, together in the next video. Alright, we are here. Let's go ahead and land on Hestia. And landing. Oh. As you're piloting your ship down the line, James disappears in the bunker. After the ship landed, no longer grease-stained coveralls, he's wearing up until now, but in a suit as a lifelong textile worker. You automatically note the suit is made of real wool, very finely woven, and that it is being tailored to fit him. He smooths down the front of the suit distractedly, looks at his hands as if unsure where to put them. How do I look? Like a millionaire. Well, that's the other thing about being a captain. You can get filthy rich. Necropod, you're unsure how to respond. Then he says, thing is, Ishir Planet is one of the most exclusive retirement communities in the galaxy. Plenty of locals are probably worth more than 1 billion credits. But they're mostly financial and business types, or old money. I'm rich enough to be here, but I just hope they're willing to socialize with someone who made his fortune flying a ship. He hands you a credit chip worth 30,000 credits and says, "Best of luck to you, Captain. Don't hesitate to look me up if you're ever in the area." Alright, so it is Monday, the 29th of November, 2013. We have 84,000 credits in Talita. So, I suppose that will be the end of this one. Let me know down in the description below what you guys think of the game, how you feel, so on and so forth. I hope everyone enjoyed it, though. The music in this video is actually not the game's. The game doesn't come with music, so the music has been added in by moi. I will leave a link to all of the music in the description below. So, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.